Happy holidays! I'm excited to share some techniques for making unique handcrafted resin ornaments with Smoothcast 326. It's a urethane plastic resin from Smooth-On. You can see the light coming through these vividly colored translucent examples. Now let me show you how to make them. Smoothcast 326 is 1:1 by volume, so I'm just attempting to pour out the same amount 3 times. For the part A and part B. Since I'm ultimately mixing 3 different colors, I'm only going to pour out 3 batches. Now I'm going to add 2 drops of pigment. This is So Strong White, which is going to give me some extra opacity and tint the resin white as well. Just a little bit goes a long way, so I only need a little to tint my second color green. I'm leaving my third batch clear. I'm not adding any colorant to it at all. I attached a clean cookie cutter, one that I'm never ever going to use for baking, to the bottom of a disposable paper container with hot glue. I made sure to seal it tightly so the resin doesn't flow out of the cookie cutter. Then I thoroughly sprayed the cookie cutter with universal mold release. This way the resin, which is super adhesive, won't stick to it. I also made a glossy flat mold from a thin, glossy ceramic tile. I used a silicone called Moldstar 20T, which is incredibly easy to mix and pour. I'm not going to use any release agent on this, and I don't need to, because it's optional when you're making urethane castings out of a silicone mold. The result will be a thin, glossy sheet that I can even paint later if I want to, with acrylic paints. The fun part of this project is going to be how I color my ornaments. After I combine the part A and the part B and mix them together, I change the material into a new clean container. This way I don't accidentally pour any unmixed material which might be sticking to the sides of my cup into my mold. This step is generally called a double mix. I'm going to drip the dark green into my mold first. It's the darkest color. So let's talk about color mixing. I'm using 3 colors. So I have a clear, a white, and a green to blend together. The moment I combine the part A and B of each batch, it's like starting a clock, and I only have so much time before it's going to start to cure. Smoothcast 326 has a long pot life though. I have 7 to 9 minutes to get it into my molds once I start mixing. This will give the colors plenty of time to blend together, and the low viscosity resin has a chance to release any bubbles that were entrapped in the material while I was mixing. Next, I'm pouring the mixed batch of clear amber with no color added to it at all. This is just what the Smoothcast 326 looks like all on its own, so that the green will blend into some clear areas to let more light swirls through in my ornament. Finally, I'm going to add white so it gives the most contrast without mixing immediately into the green that I poured first. By using a clean craft stick, I can swirl more intricate patterns into the material. This gives me a variety of results on both the front and back of my casting that will be translucent. If I wanted my casting to be a little more opaque or a bright red, I would use UVO pigments instead. You'll see an example of a red opaque ornament I made a little later on in this video. I'm going to repeat the color mixing process to fill my cookie cutter mold with the same batches of colors. This time though, I'm adding white color blocks, so I get more blending between the green and white directly. It kind of reminds me of a hint of snow on the top of a tree. It's been an hour and a half since I poured the Smoothcast 326 into thin sections. These sections are less than 1/4 of an inch into my molds. At this thickness, my casting's cool and flexible, but cured enough not to be adhesive at all, so I can demold it easily and perform some additional shaping. See? The casting is easy to deform with little pressure. It's a lot softer right now, and it's going to be easy to cut and shape. So I'm going to use a cutter to slice a 1-inch section. My cutting board and ruler helps me cut a straight line too. Now I can twist my small piece. But it keeps wanting to revert back to the flat form it was molded in. Left to its own devices, the spiral is just going to unwind itself. I'm going to punch a hole in the soft material now, so I don't have to drill or tool it later in order to hang my ornament. You can use a clamp to hold the tension of your twist while it finishes curing, but I use Scotch tape to secure it to my base so that I can get the appearance of the twist I like best. You can also use clothespins or just tape itself to do the same thing. It's really up to you how you prefer to secure your shapes. I like the Scotch tape because it's easy to remove after the casting is completely cured. Smoothcast 326 is easy to shape at this point. You can make many different kinds of variations, and I made a lot of ornaments that I cut and formed just from this small sheet. It's been 4 hours now since I first poured the liquid resin. When I was done securing them, I waited a bit longer to make sure they were fully cured and firm. Let's look at the cookie cutter ornament. I put a thumbtack through it to make sure that I had a hole for my ornament hanger while it was still soft. Again, it just makes it easier once they're fully cured not to have to do that step. So now I have a hole where the thumbtack was. Because I used universal mold release, the ornament pops out of the cookie cutter mold quickly and easily. All I have to do now is assemble the hook, and it's ready to be hung from a real Christmas tree. You can also see the twisty spirals that we made earlier are no longer flexible. They're finished and ready to be turned into decorative ornaments. You can see how beautifully bright red the UVO makes the Smoothcast 326 as well. Really, the options for making your shapes and colors are endless. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful holiday season.